Just a thought with Jason. Good evening. A little different one tonight. Yesterday, I took Parks to the dentist. It's an emergency thing. Everyone's covered up, and only one patient at a time, and it's kind of crazy. And the reason we had to go was um, about a year ago, Esri and Parks were bouncing, and he caught Esri's head in his teeth and caused some severe trauma. So we just watched it and everything. They were kind of loose, maybe with it, nothing would fall out, but he was fine until about 2 weeks ago, maybe 3 weeks ago. And his sister, good old Maggie, uh, drop kicked him in the face, and caused some even worse damage and developed some infections kind of stuff up there. And we were really worried about it. Sent pictures to the dentist, and they said, you need to bring him in. And so we brought him in, and they had told us it is possible that we'll have to pull the teeth. And Parks does not do well with dentists anyway, and so I was there because Vicky obviously cannot be anywhere near other people, and so I took him down there, and it was we go to a dentist in Latrobe, and so because they work really well with special needs kids, and so so we drove down there. It was a long drive. He watched a movie, but my mind is just like, what am I getting into? How's this going to happen? Well, what's going to go on here? Um, because we didn't know. And we got there. They did X-rays, and they said, your big boy teeth are really close, um, but we really the infection and stuff in there. We've got to get these teeth out. Um, and at this point, he started to become very scared, and I held his hands, and of course, I'm thinking of all these verses to come through, and I'm like, I started actually in the 23rd Psalm, and I quoted in the good old King James. I actually looked it up in the NIV. That the NIV says, "Even though I walk through the darkest valley, I will fear no evil, for you are with me. Your rod and your staff they comfort me." Now, I didn't use the NIV version. I used the old, but I just didn't say valley of death. But I just said, God's with us in those dark places and blah blah blah. But he's a 5-year-old and he's crying because they are getting ready to to put the shots in there, and like, it's just gonna be cold, it's gonna be fine. And at this point, as I'm holding his hands, he is screaming, and I have to kind of be on top of his legs too. And it was just, I am just like shaken, like, my son is in such pain. And I kept saying, just think about Esri, think about Esri, how you can help Esri when he has to go through stuff like this. And 2 Corinthians 1 talks about how the God of all comfort, you go through things so that you can help other people that are going through rough things. But again, you're 5 years old, and you don't know what's going on, and it just hurts. And as a parent, I hurt. I wanted to take that pain away from him. I wanted to just say, you know what, be done. He's like, I just stop. Well, his mouth was propped open, so he couldn't really yell that, but he was yelling something, and it sounded like that. And he's crying and screaming, and I'm on top of him trying to hold him down because I knew that this needed to be done. That the dentist was wise enough to say, this is what has to happen. We've got to go through this. But as a parent, I hurt. And my mind went to Jesus on the cross and went to this God the Father saying, this is the way we got to do it. This is the way we got to do it. And Jesus trusting him enough. It's a hard thing as a parent. Teeth, he's fine now. Next time you see him, he'll, the all I want for Christmas is my 2 front teeth. He says, it's harder to talk now, Daddy. And it's kind of laugh. But it's hard. And in teeth, on the scheme of things, not that traumatic compared to a lot of other people going through a lot of other crazy stuff. And yet it scared me. And I wanted to take it away from him. And I know that that's what God desires for us as well. He wants to walk beside us, even in those darkest valleys. He wants to take away the pain, sometimes from choices that we make, sometimes from garbage that happens. God says, I care about you. You are mine. There's the story that Jesus talks about, the shepherd leaving the 99 to go for the one. God cares about you and the stuff that you're going through. And it pangs him when you're suffering, when you're hurting. Know that. Know that God cares about you. And he's holding your hands and saying, you're going to be okay, you're going to be okay, you're going to be okay. I got you, trust me. It was a challenge for me. It was a hard challenge yesterday. But God, he's good. And there's a good dentist and everything's good now. So praise God for that. Just a thought. See you next time.